This is Duke University.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I ask that you all please rise? I present to you the PhD and Daytime MBA class of 2016. Please be seated. I'm Bill Bolding, and I'm the Dean of the Fuqua School of Business. It is a great privilege to serve this amazing community. And in my opinion, every day at the Fuqua School of Business is a great day, but today is a spectacular day. We're so happy to have such a terrific crowd with us to celebrate this great day. And this is about the graduates, and it's their day, but they share it with a lot of people who care deeply about the success that you've had in reaching this great point of achievement. I want to call special attention to the very small number of PhD graduates, all 5 of them sitting there. Although small in number, they're all intellectual heavyweights. And of course, we have our daytime graduates. What an incredible group. What talent that lies while you're sitting in front of me. I'm so happy that we have friends and family here today to celebrate with us, to have this remarkable faculty group and staff that is so talented, that helped make your experience phenomenal. And I'm ready to get the show going. So I'd like to ask the MBA co-presidents, Ashley Davenport and Paul Jacobs, to please step forward.
When Paul and I started thinking about what the speech would entail, we considered many options. Should we rewrite the words to a Taylor Swift song? Should we completely rip off Vitamin C and just speak the lyrics to graduation? Obviously, those were both his ideas. Ultimately, we decided to focus on what brought us all to Fuqua, in some way, shape, or form, learning. We thought about how each one of us sitting here today chose Fuqua for their own reasons. For me, it was building a strong network and creating lifelong friendships, trying to figure out what the heck NPV and free cash flows were. Oh, and traveling, just a little bit.
And for me, I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I also wanted to be challenged by surrounding myself with brilliant minds and those that came from different backgrounds and cultures.
For those of you in the audience, you may have had other reasons, such as wanting to switch careers, improve your quantitative skills, increase your earning potential, or, like one of my section mates, make a baby. Ultimately, all of these reasons are rooted in learning. Learning in the classroom, learning about different cultures and backgrounds through your classmates and travel, and let's not forget, learning about yourself.
And so we all came together to Fuqua on July 29th, 2014. Not sure what to expect of Durham in our new school. It felt a little like being a kid again, and that we worried about adjusting and making friends. But as we entered orientation, we were blasted with songs, blew vuvuzelas, and banged on tables. We ran a scavenger hunt, did the limbo, and even had a provocative dance-off that will be seared into our memories for years to come. We quickly learned that this was a place where people don't take themselves too seriously. This was a safe space to let your guard down, be vulnerable, and to be genuine with those around you. We also introduced ourselves to our section mates, and I know that at least for myself, we were more than a little intimidated. We were surrounded by students who had previously run their own businesses, been banking analysts and consultants. We also had a classmate who had been a glassblower on a cruise ship, a catering manager for one of the top chefs in New York, and one that was such a feared soldier in Afghanistan that the Taliban attempted to recruit him. As an Air Force guy, I'm still intimidated. Not only did these people have incredible resumes, we learned what they were like outside of work, as we learned their 25 random facts. Out of 2 of my close friends, one was a magician that performed in hospitals for sick children, and another claimed he had worn tights more than any girl in our class since he had been a professional ballerino. Still waiting on that pirouette, Davis, wherever you are. The point of all these examples is that before we stepped onto campus, our class was spectacular. And we knew we would learn just as much, if not more, from our classmates as we would learn in class. We left orientation enthusiastic about the next 2 years and excited about what was to come.
Immediately following orientation, we kicked off Global Institute, and wow, did it seem stressful. Who knew having 2 classes that just met a couple of times a week could be so overwhelming? We started getting to know our C-Lead teams, the people from all over the world that we'd be working with constantly for the first few months of school. On my team alone, there were people from Russia, China, Brazil, and the United States. At this point, there wasn't that much group work, so the importance of the team wasn't clear yet. However, even this early on, we started learning through pushing boundaries. For some people, this was just learning to work in a team. For others, it was getting used to predominantly speaking English. And for some, it was challenges you wouldn't expect to find in business school. One of the first times I really saw my C-Lead come together and support each other was during Triangle Training, a day filled of obstacle course-like challenges. 2 people in my group, me being one of them, were terrified of heights, and we were forced to do a tightrope walk. The support of our teammates and others present helped us push through that fear and complete the challenge. That being said, I don't think either of us particularly wants to do that again. Global Institute finished, and we thought the storm had passed. Then core classes started and hit us like a freight train. All of a sudden, we had to rely more heavily on our teams, and we realized that the various exercises during the previous month created a base of trust for us to leverage. Throughout core, we learned all the basic academic concepts of business, but that wasn't all. We learned how to work through both individual and team strengths and weaknesses. We learned how to juggle many balls at once, and admittedly dropped a few along the way. And we learned how to work with people whose priorities differed from our own. Every team had its struggles, and I'll venture to say that none did it perfectly. But I also think looking back, we can all say we took something away from that experience. Thankfully, after many long working sessions and tons of cases, we made it through the core classes and never wanted to eat cranberries again.
And then there was recruiting. We suffered through the SIP circles and the interview prep. We learned to stalk employers on LinkedIn and the importance of DBW. For the friends and family, that stands for Don't Be Weird. But most importantly, we learned to rely on each other and on the second years ahead of us. It was those friends that picked us up and bought us a beer after disappointing rejections and celebrated with us when we finally got that long-awaited acceptance call. We learned that it's better for us to push ourselves and our friends than it is to compete, and that in the end, we're all on this scary journey together. Having survived first year, a large number of us began what would become a trend, traveling abroad, some more than others. Whether working on FCC projects in Kenya, attending China or Brazil Gate, or going on J-Trek or I-Trek, we pushed ourselves outside of our comfort zones by exploring the globe. And while those experiences opened our eyes to how business is conducted across the globe, we also took time to embrace the culture, often with close friends as acquaintances and guides. We expected to learn about the differences of these places, but what was striking were the similarities and the shared interest we had with those we met. We learned that the world is so much larger and richer than what's inside our bubble, that we can trust ourselves to venture out into the unknown, and that we will now have a global network that will last a lifetime. Once we stopped traveling, we got a taste of the real world to come and went off to our internships. We built financial models, tornado charts, and pretended to know what we were doing for the first few weeks. However, we might not have used every lesson from every class, We went into our internships with a way of thinking of problems that we didn't have before. Our diverse classmates helped us to empathize with our team and our customers, and we knew how to leverage the strengths of our team members to get things done, not that we would ever divide and conquer.
After what seemed like an eternity of being away from Team Fuqua, we returned, excited to reconnect with everyone. Our internships had impacted all of us, either proving we knew we were on the right path, or in a lot of cases, showing us we were on the wrong one. The tenacity of many of you to go after what you truly want to do and not settle continues to inspire me. Somehow we all came back thinking second year was going to be relaxed and carefree. In reality, it seemed busier than ever. All of a sudden, we were the ones leading the school and helping the first years with everything from interview prep to team dynamics to where to find the best pizza in Durham. We were not only in leadership roles, but mentorship ones as well, and still trying to balance our own lives and take advantage of only having one second year.
Yeah, Hosey.
I have loved watching people grow through the formal leadership opportunities, but I think one of my favorite things has been watching us grow through informal interactions. Our class bridged gaps this year and really got to know different people. You welcomed the first years in and realized we could learn as much from them as they could from us. You stepped out of your typical friend groups and attended small events to get to know other people. You embraced randomization of teams in classrooms or on buses on trips, knowing you'd learn more and build a stronger network through getting to know other people. And most importantly, it's pretty safe to say we all had a lot of fun. Whether it was basketball games, singing karaoke, small group dinners, celebrating and sharing holiday traditions from all over the world, or crossing paths thousands of miles from Durham. I think the class of 2016 did our 1 second year right.
We have learned a lot over the past 2 years. We've learned about being ourselves and trusting one another. We've learned to push ourselves outside of our comfort zones and see the world through the eyes of others. And lastly, and most important, we've learned that we have a special group of classmates and friends that we have taken on this journey with us. Ashley and I challenge each of you to hold on to these relationships with everything that you have. We are now part of a global network that will take effort to maintain and will only be as strong as you make it. We'll all be busy as we enter our jobs and our families grow, but take time to call and write to each other. Plan more trips around the world and keep exploring. Lean on each other when you need help, and remember that Fuqua is always here as a resource, and Durham will always be a second home. These 2 years have changed our lives forever. It's now time to go out, use what we've learned here, and show what Team Fuqua means to the world. Thank you.
In the spirit of giving and continuous improvement, I'd like to welcome to the stage those individuals whose work this year will help Fuqua continue to grow. Please welcome the class gift presenters, Laura Weiss, Connie Chai, Catherine Markley, and Kirk Zafarowski.
So on behalf of the class of 2016, we would like to present this check to Dean Boulding to show our support for the Fuqua School of Business. This gift to the Fuqua Annual Fund will help fund activities such as faculty research, scholarships, and global initiatives. This was a great year. We raised $17,342 with 86% participation rate from our class. Class of 2016, thank you for your participation and support.
Thank you all so much. You gave so much during your time here, and I so appreciate your willingness to invest in those that will follow you. This is incredibly important to the future of the school, so thank you. And I have to say, I really love big checks, but I'm going to have to find a very big bank that will take this, so thank you.
It is my distinct privilege to introduce the student graduation speaker for the class of 2016. As a pillar of leadership, she was co-president of Fuqua Pride, a Cole Fellow, a constant presence in the community, and one hell of a musical performer. I welcome to the podium Margaret "Money" Munford.
Thank you, Paul. Thank y'all, or all y'all, as we like to say in the South, for being here today. I know many of you have traveled a great distance to be here, many to the United States or to North Carolina for the first time. Welcome. If you think back to when we began this journey during orientation, many of you, maybe even most of you, probably never wanted to hear from me again. I assure you, I have left my vuvuzela at home. I don't know that any of us knew exactly what we were in for back then. Some of us started having serious doubts as soon as the section cheering started. Some of us went through math camp thinking we would never quite understand statistics. Still others of us were perhaps most anxious about finding a job. It is remarkable to me how much time and effort we have spent thinking about what comes on the other side of today. And here we are, on the precipice of it, wanting to scurry back to Global Institute, to Aaron's Tuesday night DJ sessions at Social, to Triangle training, to the beginning of knowing each other. When there were no groups, we were all strangers, and we were sorting through the noise to find our people, the people who would become our friends, our partners, our family. As we sit and think about our story, our collective story, it is one of harrowing adventure. It's a story of strangers with a broad range of backgrounds, experiences, and motivations. Some of us came to Duke for a career switch, some for a promotion, still others for the sheer learning. Who are those people? It's a story of diverse people thrown into teams and asked to sprint through a gauntlet. We all thought that gauntlet was Fall 1 accounting, sorry, Dr. V, but then Fall 2 happened, and then the longest season of interviews, internships, and a return to school where we were expected to run the place. And finally, somewhere along the way, and some sooner than others, we got to #Yehozy. Whatever the reason you came to Duke, whatever the vision you had for yourself, whatever the steps you thought you would take to get there, the story is never exactly as you imagined it to be. But the story is a great one. It's a great one because you got to be you. You got to understand and know you. Business school, in many ways, is a long string of small experiments. Experiments that test your teamwork, your social adaptability, your stamina, your intellect, your humility, your ability to celebrate success, and your reactions to failure. And through the series of experiments and experiences, you see how you perform, how you respond, and how others receive you. Many of my favorite moments are examples of when you showed you. I think of Andy Hendy bravely sharing her story during Fuqua Talks. I think of Erin bringing down the house during Fuqua's Got Talent. I think of Nikki and her dedication to organizing the Dean's Diversity Working Group. I think of any number of our Latino friends hosting travelers in their home countries over winter and spring breaks. I think of Kirk Zaворowski choking up, toasting to Fuqua admissions for letting us all in here. I'm from Mississippi, I've lived in Maine, DC, and Oregon. And in great part, thanks to this community, I've never been as out and open as I am today. I am sure that is hard for many of you to imagine. But think of your own story in the last 2 years and how you have uncovered you. Some of us have emerged as hardwired consultants, constantly problem solving, even when it's at a food truck at 1 a.m. and you give not so subtle suggestions about how to improve their operations. Some of us have emerged as parents, with challenges, expectations, and love for someone we didn't even know would exist when we first walked through these halls. Some of us are now listeners, coaches. Some of us discovered an interest in academic subjects we never expected. If you told me in 2007, when I graduated from Bowdoin College as a history major, that I would go to business school, I wouldn't have taken you seriously. If you'd told me that it'd be in the South, I probably would have laughed. And if you told me I'd end up concentrating in corporate finance, or even that I would pronounce it that way, I would have thought you've lost your mind. But here we are. As the leaders of Fuqua Pride, Manuel and I often get questions, particularly this year, about being out at Fuqua and in Durham. My answer was always, Fuqua lets you in because they want you to be you. I think that's right. But I think they let us in for you to become you. To become the sort of leader they believe we need. Authenticity of self is not just about who you are. It's about your effectiveness in the world. It's about integrity, purpose, and trust. It's about finding your character to live a great story. So thank you for sharing your story and being a part of mine. Thank you, faculty and staff, for the supporting cast in our story, for your relentless dedication to the stories before us and the stories to come. Thank you to our families for their role in the development of our character. And to you, my classmates, my friends, my tribe. Thank you. Almost done, I promise. I solicited many of your opinions for what I should say today, and overwhelmingly and somewhat annoyingly, most of you said the same nondescript thing. Just be you, money. I think that's the point for all of us. You do you. Continue to be and uncover you while being gracious to others. Be proud of what we've accomplished and continue to live a great and true story. Are you ready? Let's go!
Wow. Thank you, Money, Ashley, and Paul, for those inspiring remarks. I'd now like to take a moment to acknowledge some faculty and staff. In particular, we had an award ceremony where we noted the Teaching Award winners and the Staff Choice Award. The Staff Choice Award went to Tony Jenkins. Tony is an unbelievable member of our community, so congratulations to Tony. If I could also ask Grania Fitzsimmons and Chris Mormon to please stand. So earlier, Grania was named the Outstanding Core Teacher, and Chris was given the Outstanding Elective Teacher Award. Thank you both to you so much. I now have the great pleasure of introducing our commencement speaker, Dick Costello. And it's already clear from the remarks we've heard so far that this is a welcoming, a diverse, and inclusive community. And I think that's important to keep in mind as we welcome a speaker who comes not from the Duke community, but from the community of the University of Michigan. Dick also gets credit for his willingness to reach out to this community, thanks to help from Josh Feltzer, one of our daytime alums who is very closely connected to Dick. Now, the thing that makes this really challenging for Dick is he stands here, he gives his talk, and straight ahead, he's looking at these national championship banners. For those of you that don't know, the 1992 national championship banner represents a game in which Duke beat the University of Michigan for that national championship. So Dick, thank you for your tolerance and acceptance. When we look for a graduation speaker, we set an extremely high bar. We want someone who has interesting experiences and has made interesting choices and has accumulated wisdom from that path. We want someone who's had significant accomplishment so that you can both learn about what they've learned and see what you can aspire to. And we want someone who's achieved that success in a way that's consistent with the values of Team Fuqua. And it turns out that even though Dick was not previously a member of the Fuqua community, he has honorary membership now because he absolutely meets those criteria. Dick is someone who's made very interesting choices throughout his career. He graduated with a degree in computer science and put that to work immediately by deciding that he wanted to be an improv and stand-up comic. From there, he went into the world of consulting, honestly, I think just to pay the bills as he continued to pursue his improv career. And in that world, realized that people were missing out on the potential of this whole internet thing. He told me earlier today that someone thought that the real future in terms of the impact of technology was Lotus 123. He has proved that wrong, certainly. And over the course of his career, he moved out of the consulting world and decided that he needed to be an entrepreneur to seize these opportunities. And so he's been a serial entrepreneur, a highly successful entrepreneur over the course of his career in the tech sector. He is most known for his stint at Twitter, where he was first the chief operating officer and then the CEO. When he left Twitter, I'm reminded of an old quote from Mark Twain, which is, the rumors of my death are greatly exaggerated. Which is to say, when he stepped down, people were saying, well, you know, your life is over, right? And there's actually an interview with Dick where he says, you know, I didn't die. I'm not going anywhere. There's still things to do. And since then, he has yet another startup where he's the CEO of Chorus, which is going to use technology to remake the world of wellness and fitness. And so stay tuned to see how that develops. At the same time, he's a partner in Index Ventures. And so he has been unbelievably active while going back to his roots. I don't know if any of you have ever seen the world's funniest TV show, Silicon Valley, but he spent this past year as an advisor to the writers of that TV show. And so he's someone who has managed to stay true to himself throughout that career. And I think that's part of why we feel he's appropriate as a source of wisdom for all of you, which he is completely authentic. He has followed his passion. He's listened and identified who he is and remained very true to that vision. He's done it in a way that's highly respectful, where he has remarkable humility considering the accomplishment he has, and a deep care for the people around him. He is someone that sets the standard in terms of what it means to be a great leader. And so without further ado, Dick, if you could please step forward.
A couple of years ago, my assistant came into my office at Twitter and said, "The White House just called." And I was like, "What did I do? I didn't do anything. What do they want me for?" And she was like, calm down. They want to know if you can come to the White House on Friday and participate in a discussion with some other technology executives and the president about how the security infrastructure in the country and technology companies can work together. This was around the time of the Snowden leaks, and we were all trying to figure out how we were going to work with government. So of course I went, and it was my first time in the West Wing of the White House, and it's quite small. And so we're meeting in the Roosevelt Room, and it's me, and I'm sitting next to Brian Roberts, the CEO of Comcast, who's sitting next to Reed Hastings, who's sitting next to Tim Cook, who's sitting next to Eric Schmidt, and across the table is Sheryl Sandberg from Facebook and Marissa from Yahoo, and the president comes in and sits down, and some media come in and take photos, and then he says, "Okay, let's get started." And unfortunately, he asks me the first question. And like an idiot, I directly respond to him with my answer. And then he turns to another one of the executives in the room, someone everybody respects, a very sophisticated person, and says, "What do you think?" And this executive says, "First of all, Mr. President, I just want to thank you for having us all here today. It's an incredible honor to be here. We know how important this topic is to you. We're glad that you're taking the time to meet with us." And I said, "Stop." And I cut the conversation off and said, "I meant to say that." Continue. And so with that, I just want to start by thanking the dean. The university, the faculty, all of you for taking the time to listen here today. It's really one of the incredible honors in one's life to be able to deliver a commencement speech. And okay, then just before I start delivering my prepared remarks, if all the infants in the room could be silent. I'm teasing. Congratulations right up front on graduating from one of the most respected institutions in the world. You have worked extremely hard, and you have earned the right to rest on your laurels through tomorrow afternoon. You sit here poised before all of us to be the next generation of experts in business. But what I would like you to consider for the next few minutes is that perhaps we have enough experts, and that what we need is new leaders and better leaders. And what you do next is going to set you down that path. I'm going to tell you a couple things that may seem contradictory about those next steps. You both want to be intentional about your own narrative and make sure that what you do fits the arc of your own story. But you also have to realize that you have lots of time. You don't have to do everything at once. And I'll talk a little bit about each of these seemingly contradictory pieces of advice. The thing that you can't see from your side of the timeline is that after 2 or 3 choices, 2 or 3 more forks in the road, you will have far fewer paths ahead of you than you have today. It's extremely important, therefore, that your choices are a strong reflection of that which intrigues or excites you about the world. Leslie Odom Jr., the actor who plays Aaron Burr in the Broadway hit musical Hamilton, says about the way he attacked his opportunity to get the part, "You have to walk toward the choices that make you feel alive." I also like the way he used the word walk instead of run. You want to be sure your choices are based on values or beliefs that serve you. This way forward will set you up for both a meaningful life and benefit society at the same time. The arc of your career, whatever it may be, should serve as a reflection of your own intentional and thoughtful choices and not just be the thing that is making you the most money, which I assure you is a hollow goal. Now, believe me, I totally get it, I do, that having somebody who's made a lot of money stand up here and tell you it's not about the money can be a real eye roller. But I'm telling you that when your work is a day-to-day reflection of doing what you love, you become resilient. And that is one of the most powerful characteristics of any leader, and I'll talk more about that in a bit. Secondly, again, as you think about this narrative arc of your career, please remember that you don't have to do everything at once. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright visited the Twitter offices a couple times, and on one visit she spent about an hour with some of our emerging leaders doing just a general casual Q&A. And one particularly ambitious young leader asked Secretary Albright if she had any advice for someone who wanted to eventually build their own company. And Secretary Albright's advice was simply, life is long. You don't have to accomplish everything at once. And if there's somebody who can deliver that message with real authority, it's Secretary Albright, who can speak and read 6 different languages, is the chair of her own company, has served as both Secretary of State and the US Ambassador to the United Nations, is an accomplished author, has her PhD from Columbia, and started her career working for Encyclopedia Britannica as a picture editor in her mid-20s. So, very importantly, be patient with yourself if you're happy with the choices you've made. But never get comfortable ever in any daily routine that seems detached from your interests or values. When you find yourself in these situations, you must extricate yourself from them as quickly as possible. And this may seem like extremely obvious advice, but I assure you that I don't know many people at all who haven't admitted to staying in some job or some role or some reporting hierarchy for too long simply because they felt it was what they were supposed to do, or they felt that there would be some longer-term financial reward for their day-to-day unhappiness and misery. When I got my bachelor's degree in computer science, as the dean said, I decided to move to Chicago instead of taking a programming job and pursue improv comedy at Second City, and then after that, the Annoyance Theater and some other places. Chicago is kind of this hotbed of improvisational comedy. And I did that because acting and stand-up comedy were the 2 things that I loved doing my junior and senior years at Michigan. And I performed in a number of different improv groups in Chicago, and I had to take odd jobs around town so I could get by. I wasn't making much money at all improvising. And so here I was, I had a CS degree from a great university, and at one point I was working as a coat check person in a nightclub because we were rehearsing during the day and I couldn't have a regular job. We were rehearsing all day. And a guy in my graduating class from Michigan who had taken some significant job with a real estate development company in Chicago came in to this nightclub and checked his coat and didn't even look up. And I saw him and I went, "Hey, Doug, how's it going?" And he looked up and stared at me and realized who it was. And he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm hanging your coat up." And he kind of stared at me and walked away. And so I tell you that because that's an example for you of both pieces of advice I just gave you. I didn't do what was expected of me or what I thought I was supposed to do next. I chose a path that was true to my interests and values, and despite doing improv comedy in Chicago for more than 7 years, I still had plenty of time to go on to found 3 internet media companies, sell one of those to Google, work at Google for a couple years, become COO and later CEO of one of the most exciting companies in the world in 2010. And because I had spent all those years improvising, I was always comfortable jumping on stage and speaking openly and extemporaneously in front of thousands of people, the whole company or other large groups. By following that path that was true to my interests and my values, I became resilient. And I mentioned that earlier, so now I'll tell you what I mean by that. When you're doing what you love and things go wrong, as they inevitably will, the next steps and decisions come more naturally to you. If, on the other hand, you are pursuing hollow goals and things go wrong, as they inevitably will, you're much more likely to freeze or stumble or shy away from a challenge. Now, people talk about leadership all the time, but I'd like to give you a couple quick thoughts about what I really have grown to learn makes a great leader. And it's quite simple. Grace and courage are the 2 qualities that embody the very best leaders. Grace is confidence and honesty without being a jerk. Graceful leaders are kind without being weak, and they are focused and calm and have a sense of humor in the face of adversity. Courage is not just making bold choices, it's making bold choices especially when you know you will be beaten up for that decision long before anyone finds out whether it was the right or wrong decision. Bold leaders admit their mistakes. They will take a bullet for their team. They welcome challenges, criticism, and viewpoints other than their own, and they are never in reaction, by which I mean they never say things like, "How could this happen?" Instead, they create opportunities and set the conditions for their success. Now, these may seem like abstractions, and in fact, they're very abstract words: grace, courage, resilience. But you learn them just by being present in the world and walking toward the choices that make you feel alive. I don't know how else to put it, and so I'm going to turn to Winston Churchill on the matter, who's much more articulate than I. Here's what he has to say about expertise versus leadership. Expert knowledge, however indispensable, is no substitute for a generous and comprehending outlook on the human story with all its sadness and all its unquenchable hope. And I think about that Churchill remark when I recall the multiple times at Twitter, many, when there was no roadmap for the company on some decision we had to make, such as in complex legal matters. We would be asked to turn over information about private citizens by governments in some countries in which we operated, sometimes through perfectly legal requests. Or we would have to make extremely difficult decisions about whether some piece of content should be removed from the platform. I remember vivid discussions we had around images about graphic ISIS videos that were being distributed on YouTube and Twitter. Video was a new addition to the Twitter platform at the time, and our rules, while not yet clearly addressing this situation and the instincts of many of our employees, were to prohibit the posting of the video and video images, and also to suspend the users posting such violent imagery. So it's a very tough situation. Here you have the family members of the victims, government agencies, journalists, news organizations, and people all over the world with differing views about what we should do. Some US news organizations themselves distributed the graphic images on Twitter, and some family members of one of the victims contacted us and explicitly asked that the images not be removed because people needed to see for themselves how horrific this was. Other people, family members of some of the victims, government agencies, etc., viewed this material as terrorist propaganda and demanded that we take it down. So what do you do now? If you rely solely on expertise, there's no roadmap. And let me tell you, the debates about these kinds of decisions are heated and intense and extremely emotional. We, as a leadership team, had to take a comprehensive view of the human story and all of its ramifications and put a stake in the ground, knowing that we were going to take a lot of heat for whatever we decided, irrespective of what that decision was. During our IPO roadshow, I was often asked, what are you going to do as CEO when the needs of your users conflict with the needs of the business? And I would always laugh when I got that question and say, well, that's almost never the hard decision we have to make. The hard decisions we have to make are, what do we do when the needs and rights of one set of users are in deep conflict with the needs and rights of another set of users? Those are the really hard decisions. And I'd like to tell you one more story that I hope will help you find the right path for your story. I was in a group discussion with Jeff Bezos at Amazon, and it was a small group. And there were sort of 4 or 5 people around the table. And one of the people asked Jeff, Steve Jobs always said strategy was about deciding what not to do. What not to do. How do you, Jeff, decide what not to do? And Jeff laughed, and he's got this amazing booming laugh. You should just go Google it, because it's just fun to watch. And I think the world of him and think that he is truly one of the really great leaders in my industry. And Jeff said, I don't think about that. I like to do everything. And he laughed again and said, seriously, my team has to talk me out of doing more things because I want to do more things, not less things. And this person that asked the question followed up with him and said, yeah, but Steve Jobs says. And Jeff sort of interrupted this person and said, look, what you had better realize sooner than later is that there are many ways to be successful. And he left it at that, the implication, of course, being that trying to follow somebody else's roadmap for success with partial information on top of that is probably the least likely way that you'll be successful. So develop a generous and comprehending outlook upon the human story with all its sadness and all its unquenchable hope, and let that inform the choices you make, and you will surely find yet another way to be successful. Thank you, congratulations, and get some rest. The world is waiting for you.
Thank you so much, Dick, for showing us what it means to lead with grace and courage. Around here, we have a term for the highest level of leadership, which is a leader of consequence. And in my view, Dick is a true leader of consequence. So thank you so much. Now, I really don't want to rub this in. However, I would like to present to Dick a Mike Krzyzewski Duke basketball. It's now time to transition to the recognition of the graduates, and so I ask Russ Morgan to take the podium.
Congratulations, guys. I'm very excited to celebrate with you guys today, but it sort of begs the question of how time went by so fast. It seems like you guys just got here. I tried to convey some part of my gratitude to all of you on Thursday when we met for second year send-off, but I just want to say thank you to all of you once again. You guys have done an amazing job. You've made our culture stronger. You've supported your classmates. You've been great partners for us. You've had such a positive approach to everything. As I said before, you gave us your time, you gave us your energy, and you really poured your heart and soul to making the experience the best it could be. So I thank you for all of that. Before we recognize the Fuqua Scholars and the second-year award winners, I thought it'd be nice to give you kind of a look through my lens of the last 2 years. So you've kind of gotten Money's and you got Ashley and Paul's, and I want to take a twist on that and use the 25 random facts and give you 25 observations I've had around your class the last 2 years. So for the first one, we have to start at orientation. And from what I could see, you weren't sure what chanting and banging on things had to do with business school, but you knew you liked it, and you gravitated toward it right away. Over time, you discovered that the strangers who were chanting next to you had become your best friends. We had great speakers throughout the 2 years, and we started with one of the best. So we started with Allison Levine, who, if you remember, shared with you that life, as in climbing mountains, you want to think about sometimes having to go backward and enable yourself to go forward. You had terrific faculty who helped you throughout the academic journey, and you received some guidance from those faculty at Capstone in the last 2 years. I don't know if you remember last year, but you had Bill Mayhew last year. He shared that simultaneously you could have one hand forward, reaching forward for help, while having one hand back to provide help to others. And this year you guys had Ronnie Chatterjee, who I think has already been referenced. He advised you that certain experiences, you want to take an approach where you experiment in a way that you're almost in a lab and you continue to try new things. You finished your first year with a national championship in basketball, and you always have a banner to return to and remind you of that. So while that was great, we also had our own national championship in Cameron recently with a student-faculty basketball game, so to keep it in context. On behalf of the deans and the faculty involved, I want to thank Peter and everyone who played against us for allowing us to lose, which was inevitable, but to do so without completely humiliating us in the process. We were ranked the #1 business school by Bloomberg Business Week in your first year, and then number 8 this year, which was fine, because what we learned in that process was it really doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Your experience has to be second to none. From what I've seen, you've marked a lot of moments the last 2 years with selfies. So some of you I saw had some selfies with Ben Bernanke a few weeks ago, some of you with Tim Cook at the national championship game. And then I think for all of us, including me, we have an untold number of selfies over the last 2 years with Jay Gohl. So a personal joy for me was to see the transformation across the years, and in particular to see how you went from being mentored in your first year to becoming mentors as you moved into your second year. You kept us from taking ourselves too seriously through funny and mostly respectful Fuqua Vision skits. And I think you'd all agree that Brian Reich has now raised the bar for what future classes are expected to do with Fuqua Vision. To help us appreciate our diversity, you created and executed something new for Fuqua with Fuqua Talks, Fuqua Voices, and Behind the Mic Night. You embraced the changes we made to C-Lead 2, and the highlights had to be whitewater rafting, camping together, and a great talk by Coach K. Low points, bus travel. Yeah, you had to be there. You showed us your world and cultures through Global Week and various club conferences and symposia, and over the 2 years, you ate and drank well at Around the World, wine nights, and remarkably innovative cooking at Fuqua. We were able to run together. Notably for me was the Tar Heel 10 miler, where it was great to see about 60 of you wearing Team Fuqua t-shirts in the right color of blue running through Chapel Hill. And you entertained us and sometimes truly surprised us when you revealed the depth of your talent at Fuqua Idol and Fuqua's Got Talent. We began to wrap up the year with Fuqua Reflects, where your messages were to trust and to inspire, and as Money reminded us, just be or just do you. You noted your love of family, your love of C-Lead team, sometimes with the same words. And finally, number 25, you all contributed a part of yourselves to make Fuqua better and to be a place where we're all proud to call home. So thank you for all of that. All right, now what you've been waiting for. So we'd like to acknowledge a number of today's graduates. First, for each graduating class, the top 10% based on their academic achievement are noted as Fuqua Scholars, and this year's recipients are noted in your program. Would the 2016 Fuqua Scholars please stand to be recognized? Thank you. Second, the students in the graduating class and the Fuqua deans nominate and select students for a number of awards based on their contributions to the Fuqua community. These awards and the recipients are also noted in your program. At this time, I ask that the second-year award recipients please stand and be congratulated for their achievements. Thank you. It's now time to individually recognize each of our graduates. We'll ask each of them to come forward and be recognized and congratulated by Dean Boulding, Dick Costello, and me. Gentlemen, would you please stand? At this time, I'd like to ask Chi Chen, the Martin L. Black Jr. Professor of Accounting and Director of our PhD program, to come forward and read the names of our graduating PhD students.
Avni Mahesh Shah. Peggy Jie Liu. Alex James Wilson. Alexandru George Rosario. Sergio Andres Correa.
Thank you, Chi. Now I'd like to ask Shane DeColey, our Associate Dean for Faculty Engagement, to please come forward and read the names of our graduating MBA students. He'll be assisted by Cheryl Dirks, Associate Dean of Career Management, and Liz Riley Hargrove, our Associate Dean of Admissions.
Ashley Lynn Davenport. Paul Robert Jacobs. Margaret Townsend Munford. Connie T. Chai. Catherine Elizabeth Markley. Laura Alexandra Weiss. Kirk Michael Zaворowski. Mayada Zakaria Abdelrahman. Sharif Yahya Asaf. Rachel Ann Alanese. Nugroho Bramantio. Niv Abriam. Ed Benson. Daryl Patrick Go Evangelista. Alice Fan. Archana Balakrishnan. Kanaka Lakshmi Balasabathi. Sainda Akil. Yusuf Al-Nomeni. Joint degree with a Masters of Public Policy, Bahari Jamal Harris.
No middle initial.
Reginald Benbow.
Jayant Barkey, no middle name.
Jayant Baki.
Just Joy Anena.
Joy Anina.
Akil Araji, no middle name.
Akil Araji.
Osama El Rabi, no middle name.
Osama Al-Ra'i.
No middle name.
Farhan Adhami.
Allah El
Allah
Said.
El-Said. Muhammad Kataha. Nishant Kaul.
Araiza. Say the name.
Luis Carlos Areza.
Guga Batista.
Guga Batista.
Middle name. Idris Dosamu.
Idris Dosamu. Jay Goal. Robin Back.
Middle name, yes.
David Alexander Cohen.
Eastridge.
Goran Bistrich. Saeed Al-Salah.
Say the middle name. Batar.
Jonathan George Batar.
Yes on the middle name.
Diana Lane Black. Camille Blanco.
Piano Brighthart.
Erin Vacchiano Breithaupt. Cullen Joseph Breithaupt. Pablo Botero Holguin.
Middle name, yes, please.
John Edmund Connors. Christopher Matthew Fendrick.
Middle name Edelman.
Douglas Charles Edelman. Kapil Vijay Hede. Michael William Ide. Benjamin Yifeng Hu.
Middle name yes.
Anthony Dwayne Campbell, Jr.
Middle name yes.
Brian Samuel Cohan. Wilma Burtis. Geraldine Guichado.
Middle name yes.
Brittany Janelle Hodge.
Middle name Cairns.
Craig Matthew Cairns. Tom Y. Kim. Sung Hyun Hong.
Kyung Sup Lee.
Kyung Sup Lee.
Ji Wan Kim.
Ji Wan Kim. Megan J. Raj.
Middle name yes. Emmett.
Chad Eric Amica.
Di yes.
Andrew Scott Dyke.
Middle name yes.
Jonathan Lee Aronson. Daniel Christopher Cantor.
Middle name yes.
Nicholas Jean Gilligan.
Middle name yes.
Eric James Finch. Kuzima Kampurwala. Sean Champlin Burbank. Elena Marie Braun. Aditi Bhagava. Gail Anjali D'Souza. Caitlin D. Gregorio. Amelia Ann Chappell. Leah Gillian Farmer. Devansh Anand. Charm Swen Fleming. Emma Chen. Frahiha Noshin. Jennifer J. Kim. Noah David. Tanya Chang. Ellen Shu Chang. Joint degree of the Masters of Public Policy, Stephanie Lynn Brown. Kristen Meredith Brown. Nicholas Robert Brunson. Liam Bennett Bracken. Kevin Patrick Doyle. Alexander Michael Both. Christopher Diet. Kurt Paris Bazarewski. Krishna Kishore Kalapara. Tristan Ganry. Arjun Daga. Kimberly Marie Davies. Christopher John Celesta. Caleb Alexander Buchanan. Benjamin Allen Amsler. Darian Burton. Catherine Marie Campbell. Danielle Marie Sika. Maria Ikimaglu Crennan. Anna Lauren Doherty. Banda Eleta. James Daniel Duggan. Felipe Cubios. Alexander Charles Hyman. Leah Marie Churinsky. Ryan Michael Frew. Luis Alejandro Chavez. Amanda Shannon Doherty. Austin Clifford Colley. Matthew Hendren.
Yes on the middle name.
Tyler Morgan Birch.
Jay Vinod Bavishi.
Jay Vinod Bavishi.
Just Matt Butters.
Okay. Matt Butters.
Middle name, yes.
Daniel Keith Hurley.
Joachim on the last name, yes on the middle.
Aaron David Joachim. Andrew Joseph Gower.
Brazier and middle name, yes.
Catherine Wells Brazer.
Oh, June.
Arjun Ganesh.
Guilfoyle, and yes on the middle.
Kevin Zachary Guilfoyle. Ekanth Kohli. Joint degree, Masters of Environmental Management, Maddox Ramsey Hall. Michael Roy Benson. Sarah Potter Hoyt. Eleanor Ann Boothroyd. Ryan Stewart French. Jennifer Lynn Cadell. Alyssa Marie Gorgon. Jed Kelly. Miles Brooks Gaunto. Gregory Thomas Caulfield. Davis Chandler Hasty. Harjot Singh Graywal. Sang Chang. Garza's last? Yeah. Patrick Heinemann Garza. Do you want Galagos? Yeah. David Fernandez Galagos. Matthew Kyle Element. Alexandra Heiss. Alexis Renee Hitchner. Peter Jameson Hogue. Anna Lisa Hirsch. Kathy K. Chow. Kristen Lynn Halberstad. Needy Desai. Daniel Heinen. Evan Alexander. Justin Beatty.
Middle name, yes.
Ashley Elizabeth Friedman.
Full name, Fuqua.
Kevin Kewell Ferguson. Dustin Ross Harris. Kevin Holmes. Joshua Andrew Holseberg. Max Benjamin Carr. Jordan Cup. Hamakshi Jala Pama. Okay. William Trevor Hockett. Joseph Owen DeCampo. Brian Andrew Kenyon Johnson. Okay. Justina Gianni Kwong. Elise Alexandra Lane. Jessica Kathleen Davlin. Joint degree of the Masters of Environmental Management, Andy Hendy. Emmy Komada. JD Erica Shira Herman. Olivia Day Kupfer. Mary Grace Yarrison Hahn. Emily Butterfield Jackson. Patton Jeffries Bouchon. Satridia Giuliandini. Xenia Chang. Shimei Chen. Wei Fan. Jay Chan. Radamlert Anantashina. Lena Dai. Okay. Zen Dai. Hao Yu Chen. Kenneth Gao. Vishu Du. Aziz Elsus Abouid. Adelina Dasso Arana. Naoko Garcia. Ana Coronel. Alejandra Herosa. Thais Gaspar. Camila Chimbrano. Rodrigo Hadwe. Martin Federico Galante Devoto. Ramiro Garcia Buerpo. Federico Ricardo Bello. Augustine Cuesta. Joint degree, School of Public Policy, International Development Policy, Patricio Jose Bogono Ondoraga. Yeah. Juan Eduardo Ibanez. Pablo Hernandez Serrano. Varun Podar. Aman Kurana. Christian Gana Ortega. Diego Granillo. Jorge Katie Riveros. Yejin Kim. Roy Kirschon. Do you want Thomas? Yeah. Edward Thomas Easling. Joint degree, Masters of Environmental Management, Alexander Lincoln Kent. Armanak Bedoyan. Chinzo Otangarel. Gennady Yanovsky. Gabriel Klintovitz. Mariana Perondi. Alex Castro. Jason Jayon O. Guy Serrano. Ricardo Kozishewicz. Okay. Luana Santos. Danielle Thomas. Victor da Silva Barbosa. Jose Ignacio Neto. Temur Faruqi. Rishav Gandhi. Anurag Jadpuria. Joint degree JD, Joshua Solomon Aronoff. Tommy Ja Lam. Kyla Grace Lawrence. Yep. Martina Lapozinska. Michelle Caitlin Leddy. Peter Wills Lishik. Kevin Fong Lei. Jennifer Lueck. Matthew Robert Maybe. James Allen Medwick. Rebecca Wang. Ronnie Sheng. Geeta Ramakrishnan. Shrikama Murthy Guru. Jason Marley Nickerson. Manda Tipak Sankolka. Jianqi Yao. Christina Yu. Irakli Povalishvili. Wenkai Sun. Joint degree, Masters of Environmental Management, Jose Magana Paredes. Lisa Lin. Yinglei Xu. Ya Xue. Angel Wenjing Luo. Amber Zhang. Kitty Shu. Sing Ong Zhu. Fei Lu. Jia Peng Liu. Sarah Berkeley Allen Martin. Genevieve Quinn Joyce Lupton. Chad Randall Tyler. Robert Joseph Pixton. R.J. Schultz. Emily Howe Silman. Ismeth Parveen Mohidin. Diksha Malhotra. Advaith Manapali. Emily Lauren Madden. Is it joint degree? Yeah. Joint degree, Global Health, Elizabeth King McFarlane. Therese? Emily Therese Millette. Laura Ellen Nielsen. Ranan Saab. Lidor Pergament. Antu Nguyen. Uriel Mazal. Christos Minaretsis. Juan Augustine Maltini. Juan Antonio Martinez. Rashid Eduardovich Maximov. Lucas Nassif Pereira Lima. Santiago Montez Posada. Eliezer Arturo Moro. Juan Jose Arcuris Ace. Marcela Andrea Rosada Grau. Guido Rota. Marcelo Prato. Sungjun Lee. Jake Lee. Mauricio Pontanez. Emmanuel Palugud. John Park. Jessica Ann Stone. Matthew Delmeda Pilnig. Adam David Schwabach. Gregory Paul Smith. Stephen Louis Lancianis. Samuel Thomas Lederer. Michael Joseph Lee. Hardik Parikh. Stephen Thomas Sims. Joint degree with the Masters of Public Policy, Lewis Edward Spradley. Stephen Christopher Toth. James David Peters. Nathan Joseph Knoll. Eric David Sabo. Andrew Tayutli Vardheim. Alexei Platnev. John Tyler Renzi. Kyle Richard Tissone. Christopher John Martin. Marco Shin. Ashley Elizabeth McCulley. Jacob Hamilton Moore. John Barry Smith. Michael Edward Lloyd. Colin Gore Nangle. Benjamin Daniel Richmond. Matthew Huff Mursky. Alison Donnelly Rotundo. Lauren Francis Wetzel. Dan Joseph Tudesco. Samantha McLean. Jeremy Jerome Corzin. He did that deliberately. Samantha Jo Ramsey. Emily Reber Richuso. Aishwarya Sirohi. Sumin Lee. Eileen Ho Rosen. Maria Del Pilar Perez. Manuel Le Prevanche. Eugenia Vasquez Gonzalez. Oh, you're welcome. Emily Jane Werner. Joya Danae Lanier. Crystal Denise Riley. Joint degree JD MBA. Ben Shellhorn. I'm really cool. Joint degree John Hopkins Science. Ian Robert Renner. Nicole Marie Melwood. Karen Lomego Otoni. Jason Matthew Poosley. Brian Paul Reich. Michelle Lankto Reich. Annette Renee Shepherd. Becca Shepherd. Jaspreet Singh. Mark Thomas Reardon. Timothy Allen Sestrich. Dam Pathmalal. Raja Hani Sabai. Bobby M. Shkolnikov. Eshida Shah. Alyssa Niles. Brandon Miao. Daniel Alexander Swain. Tarun Mathur. Boris Alexander Reznikov.
James Pickup.
Tanner James Pickup. Yucheng Zhang. Alvin Dylan Aswandi. Brian Douglas Polson. Joint degree, Masters of Environmental Management, Diana Susan Rowe. Victoria Stewart Overdorf Smith. Jordan Sydney Ernest Smith. Scott Richard Trulin. Rohit Ray. Joint degree, School of Medicine, MD, MBA, Jose Miguel Lopez. Radu first. Radu Trundafir. Simona Sass. Ihsan Torabi. You're welcome. Scott Evan Schulman. Jared Mathis Schnefke. Hunter Bradford Sinclair. Fei Shi. Xinyao Wang. Sophie Eleanor Solomon. Joint degree, Masters of Environmental Management, Elizabeth Dargan Spence. Well done, ladies. Joint degree, Masters of Environmental Management, Pablo Sebastian Tacoli. Joint degree, School of Medicine, Robert Darnell Sinyard III. Susan Zong. Calvin Zong. Eric Yin. Shweta Prasad. Asad Ali Mahmood. Usman Wahid. Manonit Singh. Shrikant Parvati. Nicholas Lamira Rui. Stephen John Picos. William Sherlock. Marie. Kristen Marie Pinksting. Melody Cho O'Connor. Laura Taylor McClellan. Mallory Quinn White. Christina V. Winter. Andrew David Reinhardt. Nathaniel Martin Victor. Andrew Sherwood. Jeffrey Wen. Wilson Zhang. Paul Eunice. Kentaro Tanabe. Megan Elise Van Deventer. Alexander Matthew Vinodi. Christopher Ward Stead. Tatsuro Osuga. Anthony Francis Tedesco. Mickey Meskin. Joint degree, Masters of Public Policy, Charles Andrew Waddell. Damien Allen Tamez. Siddharth Varshni. Vikramjit Singh. Vibhu Tiwari. Hongsuk Yoon. Anne Shinyi Wu. Anne Parrish Steptoe. Robert Thomas Short. Sean Teo. Daisuke Mori. Siran Singhtanu Prasad. Megan Elizabeth Wright. Hyo Lee. Apachaya Yadvanich. Tanya Watts Samuels. Huang Lian Tran. Walin Wimalanan. Susan Marie Whitmer. Just Jorge Stevenson. Jorge Stevenson. Yeah. Georges Samba. Benjamin Ruiz Tagle Mena. Eduardo Turner Gonzalez. Ignacio Velasco Garcia Lascoren.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the PhD and MBA class of 2016. In just a few minutes, after the faculty and the graduates have recessed out of Cameron Indoor Stadium, while that happens, if we could please ask the audience to stay in attendance until we all leave, and then if we could join together in the Fox Center to continue the celebration. I'd like to thank everyone here today for being a part of so much joy, so much happiness. I'd like to thank our graduation speakers, Dick, Money, Paul, Ashley. All of you were terrific. And I'd finally like to ask all of the graduates to please stand. So I'd like to close out by speaking directly to all the graduates. And the most important thing I have to say to you is thank you. Whenever there's a class that graduates, they ask the following question, which is, what makes us special? And over the years, I've learned that the question that's really being asked is, do you love us, and are we the best class ever? So let me start by asking or answering the question, what makes you special, and then I'll get to the love and are you the best ever? So what makes you special? If you haven't noticed, and you all have noticed, we're living in a world that is greatly troubled. It's a world of polarization, extremism, and divisiveness. We need leaders who can bring people together, who have an inclination to drive themselves apart. And all of you are prepared to be those leaders because you recognize something important, which is that kind of leadership starts right here, right now, at home. This class took the collective responsibility to say, what do we do in the face of this divisiveness to bring this community closer together, to live up to the values that are so critical to this community, and to honestly say that as we leave, we are truer to the value of collective diversity, that we are more free to be ourselves, our authentic selves, and that we can honestly say that we have supported our classmates and supported the ambitions of those who surround us. The thing that this class has done, it's taken that to an entirely new level. In a time of turmoil, what you did was try to make us better, and you succeeded. For that, I will be eternally grateful. Thank you so much. So then on to the question, do I love you? I love you. I really love you, yes. And where do you rank? Well, let me put it this way. All of you saw some great teams on this floor. You saw a team that won the national championship on this very floor. But if you think about it, what Coach K loves to say is, if 5 can act as 1, then 5 are always better than 1. But if you think about, what if 440 act as 1? What kind of amazing team can you create? And in my opinion, I am looking at the best team that has ever been on the floor of Cameron Indoor Stadium. So yes, you are the best ever, but you better hope that the class that follows you gets the same accolade. Because it's up to us collectively to make this place better and better and never be satisfied with where we are today. And with that in mind, I now turn from thanks to some requests. 4 requests in particular. And no, I'm not going to ask you for money. I will be asking you for money. I want to make that perfectly clear. But I want you to really pay attention to 4 different things that I think are very important. The first one is, you're at a time when you have lived through an experience that is unbelievably intense and transformational. You're about to all go to different ends of the earth. And as you celebrate together, your inclination will be to focus on each other these last few moments that you have together before you go off and do wildly different things and change the world. But here's the thing. You are surrounded by many people who got you to this place. And so I want to be sure that you take the time to say thank you to the friends and the family that got you into a position where you can have this success, where you do have an opportunity to go forward and do incredible things. So make sure you say thank you early and often to those people who got you to where you are now. And to those people who can't be here today, make sure you reach out to them and let them know just how much you appreciate their support. The second thing is, for us, this is a time of mixed emotion. I mean, there's so much joy, there's so much happiness around this incredible celebration, but I have to tell you, there's sadness as well. We will miss you. And I hope that for all of you, that you love this place enough that you might miss us just a little bit too. And so my request is really not that complicated, which is, don't be strangers. Stay connected to this place, to the people that make up this incredible community. If you think about what made your experience special, it's a very big network of people, including a lot of alumni who come back, who give back, who do so much to help the current students. And I want to be sure that all of you feel that same responsibility to give back to those people who will follow you and make them love this place too. So please stay connected. The third thing you're going to immediately dismiss as this is so trivially easy. Why are you even asking? The request is stay connected to each other. And here's the thing. Right now, the bonds between your class are so strong, so intense, that you can't imagine that those bonds will be anything but enduring over time. But here's the reality. When you leave this place, you will be disconnected by time and space. You will be disconnected because life comes at you fast and furious. And in fact, you're going to be so distracted trying to get your new path that it'll be very easy to forget about the people here with you today who made that path possible. Relationships take work. You cannot take for granted that these amazing relationships that you've built will last without any effort on your part. And so please make the investment to sustain those relationships, because think about it. Think about how much you got out of these last 2 years. And that is a tiny fraction of the time that lies in front of you. Think about how much you can get from all of your classmates over a lifetime and make that happen. The last request is the most demanding request, which is, you know, we have this saying, your success is my success. And I want you all to be successful. I wish that for each and every one of you as you find your path, as you find your passion, and you follow your heart. But I wish you something beyond success. I wish you happiness. And when I say happiness, I want you to enjoy your lives. I want to be sure that you're choosing the right path that feels good to you. But what I also mean is true happiness is when you achieve total excellence. It's when you put everything into what it is that you can accomplish, and you put your talents to full use, and you put those talents to use, not selfishly, but to help people around you, to build the organizations in which you join and participate, to build the communities in which you live, and to truly make a difference for the people around you. And so if you can achieve happiness, you will achieve not just success, but significance. And I wish that for each and every one of you. Thank you all so much. We will now adjourn.